previously served as the head coach at St. Augustine High School. Also worked as an assistant at Destrehan and at Brother Martin, and worked most recently at Grambling before coming back home to Tulane. The Green Wave will play Saturday at Annapolis against Navy at noon. Please give a warm Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Coach Wayne Cordova of Tulane University. Wayne?
Good afternoon. Like always, we'd like to say thank you to Mr. Ken Trahan for all he's doing for the community as it pertains to high school football and football in general. I'd like to rag on Nelson a little bit. He kind of stole my thunder. I was going to give it up for my good friend as well, Mark Bonise and Jay Brody, the job that they're doing over there at Brother Mark. The first thing I like to do, talk about Tulane. I always say it's the State of the Union address for Tulane. Is tell you a little story and kind of epitomize what we're doing and what's going on at Tulane University. There was a set of twins. One of the twins is named Kevin. The other twin was named Devin. And come from a pretty good family in so many ways, and in some certain ways. Mom gave them everything that she possibly could. Good morals, good values, and made them do things on time, had good character. The dad, on the other hand, he was kind of abusive. He was a drug addict and alcoholic, and didn't do the same things that the mom did. So these two young men, they grew up. Kevin and Devin grew up, and one of them, Kevin became very successful. Kevin became a neurosurgeon. Did very well for himself, had a family, some kids, looked out for his kids, made sure his kids were raised just like his mother did for him. And on the other hand, Devin, he went on a different path. He kind of went the same path as his father, and didn't do the things that he needs to do. He was in and out of jail, used drugs, alcohol, and didn't take care of the kids that he had. And because of the brother that did well for himself, there was news people that wanted to interview him and see the story and what was the factors that made one of them go in the right direction, one of them go in the wrong direction. So the interviewer asked the question. He asked Devin, which was the one that didn't do so well, what contributed to you not going like your brother or not being as successful as your brother? And Devin said, my dad. My dad did drugs, alcohol, and didn't do the right things, and I saw it and followed his path. And the interviewer asked the brother that was successful, and this is the key part. What did you do? What happened in your life? And he was like, it was my dad. My dad did drugs, he did alcohol, he didn't try to take care of us, didn't help us. And the moral of the story is, you can have two people can have the same situation, but how their mental makeup is we determine how you're going to react to that particular situation and how you're going to, whether you can change your life or better your life based off that situation. And that's what's going on in Wilson Center right now. We have a bunch of young men, a big group of young men that are very resilient and optimistic, and so is our coaching staff. And right now we're 2-4. It could be very easy for the players to turn it in, but that's not what's going on. I just came from football practice, and those guys were on fire. Those coaches are out there coaching their tails off, and we're trying to find a win. Trying to do everything that we possibly can do with every rep, every series, every practice, every day to make sure that we're going to get the next game, which is versus Navy. And that's the things that's going on at the Wilson Center. Offensively last week, it was disappointing. So just to be honest with you guys, we practiced hard, had a lot of enthusiasm, great focus, but we didn't play it again. We didn't execute like we needed to. Came out kind of flat and kind of stayed on that path. Houston was a top 25 football team. I think they were ranked 24 at the time in which we played them, and they played like that. And in order to beat teams that are ranked like that, or this team that are good football team, well-coached football teams, you have to execute. You have to execute at a higher level, and you can't create turnovers and mistakes. And we did that, and we're working on correcting those things, and that's what we'll do versus Navy. Navy has a really good football team. They were 4-0 just a couple weeks ago. when they played a really good Notre Dame football team, and they were knocked down by Notre Dame, I believe, by 2 touchdowns. But they're well coached. They're they're going to be the most disciplined people that we're going to face all year. So they're not going to make many mistakes. They're not going to turn over the ball that many times. But they run the option on offense, and on defense, they're going to play. They're going to back up and say that you can't throw the ball deep, and count on you making mistakes. Count on you not being able to sustain drives over a long period of time. But like I said, they're well coached. They don't make mistakes, and that's, again, going to play into our favor of us coming to practice every day, prepared, being focused, and understanding the job that we have to do every play for the game. Just to rattle off a couple things, I would say, noteworthy things. 2 weeks ago, we made history. We had the first legally blind player playing a Division I FBS football game. This young man is he works out every day, and he's always at practice trying to get better. He can snap the ball pretty good. The thing with Aaron is kind of scared to get him in coverage, punting. He's a really good long snapper, phenomenal short snapper, but that accolade that he got a chance to get out there and play and try to live out some of his dreams was phenomenal for that young man and his family. They were in the stands as well. Some of the players, like last week, we had Devin Powell receive his first start last week. Like I said, offense, we didn't play as well as we would like, but Tanner was injured, so Devin stepped in and tried to play his role. Devin Bro, he's continued to make big plays in the passing game. Devin Bro is one of our junior receivers. He's making big plays. And now I call him Big Play Bro because of the big plays he's making. Teddy Veal made 6 catches on last week. 5 different running backs this season have amassed over 20 yards rushing on any given time. And those guys are Dontrell Hilliard, Sherman Beatty, Josh Rounds, Rob Kelly, Marshall Wiley, and all of those names that I just named are from this area right here. So that's an accolade to the high school coaches of this area. When they come to Tulane, those guys are prepared to play Division I football. Defensively, Nico Marley and Eric Thomas, those 2 guys are ranked 3rd and 4th in the conference as far as the tackles, solo tackles, and they are also ranked 17th and 24th in the nation in solo tackles. Darian Monroe has 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries. Darren is doing a phenomenal job of being a leader, keeping our team together, and just leading by example. Royce LaFrance. Royce is one of our guys. He's actually 3 sacks away from holding the record of sacks at Tulane, so that's a big deal for him. Zachary Block is our true freshman punter. He's averaging 40 yards a punt, which is phenomenal for a true freshman, for a football player anywhere, for that matter. We talked about Navy already. Their quarterback is a really good player. He's the guy that makes their team go, and he's leading the nation. Actually, he has the most touchdowns in FBS history as far as one position goes. He has 73 touchdowns in his career. So our defense is going to have to come to play and be ready to make a lot of tackles on sideline to sideline. And that's it for me. Do you have any questions?
Raise your hand. We'll get the microphone up too, right?
Yes, sir.
The young man you were talking about, the center, I mean, it's a very admirable story. What is the extent of his blindness? No vision, or very?
He can just pretty much see, I would say, a cap, like a pin cap. That's the vision that he would have. It's very smart. It's about, maybe this big. Not much. He has a apparatus that he can put on his eye, that we can put on our eye. He would come to me and say, "Coach, just put this over your eye," and it's about the size of a pin. And he said, "This is what I see when I come to practice every day, or this is what I see when I'm walking around." And it's hard, it's tough, but he perseveres, and he's the funniest kid on the football team. He's always joking and happy-go-lucky, but he's one of the hardest working kids on our team, and we're very, very happy to have him on our team. He's from the East Coast. He's from the East Coast. I don't know exactly where he's from. but I can find that information out for you in a second.
What is the status of Tanner Lee for again?
Tanner Lee, he'll more than likely play this game. He was at practice and he was taking reps today at practice, so we're looking forward to having him back. Thank you, guys.